Hi there, welcome to this video. I am Natasha and I want to thank everyone who joined my channel in the last couple of weeks. I have been absent for a while. I've been extremely busy and dealing with a lot of stuff, and therefore I didn't have much time to upload a video, but I do now. So here comes the next video. I am going to help you find a lost object, either a key, a ring or a piece of jewelry, documents or letters, or even a pet. But before I am going to do that, I would like to ask you to like the video, subscribe to my channel and click the bell icon to get notified whenever I upload a new video. Please help me grow this channel. I'm growing extremely slowly and I would love to see more people join my channel so I can share my messages with more people. If you want a personal reading, you can contact me by email address. My links are in the description box below. You can check out my Patreon, and you can also help me via PayPal if you think my readings help you at all. You can consider a donation through PayPal, and you can also join me and follow me on Instagram and Facebook under the same name, Pegasus Tarot Club. And through these channels it will be much easier to get a hold of me, so these venues can also be used if you want to get in touch with me for a personal reading. Now let's get started. I have 4 options for those of you who are looking for a key, those of you who are missing a piece of jewelry or a ring or a trinket, the ones among you that are looking for important documents, papers, letters, anything that resembles an envelope or letter or printed on paper, and for those of you who have lost a pet and would like to know what happened to that pet. Now this is a general reading, so this might not resonate with all of you. I still hope that I can help some of you to find the lost object of your choice. And now take a moment to choose which object you would like to find. You can then go to the timestamps in the description box to the reading for the object of your choice. For those of you who chose the key, I'm having a bit of trouble with the focus. I will now prepare your reading. Okay, so let's see what we have here. At first glance, I see multiple stories here for the whereabouts of the key that you are looking for. This is one story. This is the story of a family gathering where in the busyness of the moment, this is a busy gathering. Lots of people were there, maybe a party or a celebration in family circles. It's definitely about family, not friends. So this was at a location of a party that was in your family. It could be a birthday, or it could be another kind of celebration that went on. And it seems that is the place where you did lose the key, and the key has been entangled, probably in some greenery, in bushes. But it's very difficult to find. It may be somewhere in the garden, somewhere in the bushes, but it's entangled, and it's buried deep beneath the bushes. It may be that you and others already searched for the key in this location but didn't find it because of the overgrowth. What I'm seeing because of these 3 cards, I feel that you won't be able to retrieve this key. You won't be able to find it. It may be entangled in the root systems of this bush or greenery, or it is buried beneath it, underground maybe even, but it's entangled, so it's not very visible. So you may have to consider your key lost. But it happened somewhere at a party in family circles, in a moment where there was a lot going on at the same time, where people were moving quickly, where there was rumor, maybe some of them had a bit too much to drink, so there was a bit of a chaotic situation there, and that is the moment that you lost the key somewhere in the greenery, in the bushes, and it's entangled. That is what this card is telling me. It's entangled, it's stuck somewhere. If you would see it, you wouldn't be able to just get it. It would be entangled in the growth, in the bushes, the tree, the root systems, the branches, whatever. And it's not visible. It's deeply buried beneath these bushes. This card tells me it's lost. But it seems that you still have a spare key, so you can make duplicates of that as well. So that is one story that I'm seeing. The other story is I am seeing a gathering at a beach with a lot of people, friends, lots of people doing all kinds of different things. There may be beach volleyball, or swimming in the water, or children running about. A hectic and chaotic situation as well. And it's definitely at the beach. It overlooks at the sea or the ocean, and this is a beach area. So this happened at a beachy area. It seems that it is hanging somewhere, maybe even hanging in the bushes, in the trees or greenery that are around in this area. You will be able to find it if you go look for it. You will even have a lot of luck finding it. So if you retrace your steps back to that beach where you were, you might find it again. It may be hanging somewhere, maybe someone picked it up and placed it in a location where it's visible, so that anyone who would go looking for that key would easily find it again. But it's definitely also tied up and hanging somewhere. And this card is really the card of good luck, so you will have good luck for it. And this card is the solution to problems, finding solutions. So this tells me that if you go look for it, you probably find it again. Now the next story that I see here is that the key that you are looking for is in the home, or mansion even, a large home, of an elderly couple. I think these people are elderly. That is just an intuitive feeling, but they are, in any case, they are a couple, and they live in a rather large, possibly luxurious home. So that is where you may find your key. For others, this can also mean the workplace where it's left, but these other two cards do not really support a working environment. But that's also a possibility. So I hope with this information you will be able to retrace your steps And in this case you may find your key. In this case you might find your key. In this case it's going to be difficult. It's very buried very deep under the greenery, and it's very difficult to find. But at least you have an idea of where your key is. So I hope this reading was useful for you, and I wish you an amazing day. Be blessed. Bye. For those of you who are looking for a ring, a piece of jewelry, or a shiny trinket, this is going to be your reading, and I hope we will be able to find out what happened to your ring, jewelry, or trinket. So, for those of you who are looking for a ring, a piece of jewelry, or a trinket, I see several different stories here. This is one story, this is a story, this is a story, and these are a story. Maybe I can arrange them like this for clarity. And first, we have several cards that indicate that this trinket, jewelry, or ring got lost during an activity. You were with a group of people, you were out in nature, you were probably hiking, maybe mountain climbing or hiking to a mountainous area, possibly with a lake around in the vicinity or in the neighborhood. You were with a larger group, lots of different people, a bit of a hectic situation, people going to and fro, and in the hecticness of this situation, the piece of jewelry got lost somewhere in the bushes along this trail that you were on, and it is underneath the bushes. It had fell to the ground, but it is underneath some growth, some bushes, not a tree, definitely lower vegetation. So if you retrace your steps, you might be able to find it back again. It may be difficult depending on how much greenery there was around on your hike, but this is what I see for the first story about where you lost your ring, jewelry, or trinket. The second story is quite a different story. I see a fair, a fancy fair, or a celebration of some sort, or a flea market, or a place like that with a lot of people there. There's trading going on. There's celebration, there's partying, there's lots of fun, and your piece of jewelry got lost in a very unsuspecting place. It may be in a hidden place out of sight of this busy area, so it may be behind a building that was there somewhere. It could even actually be in a mausoleum, or near a mausoleum, or near a graveyard, or another place where it's very quiet, very peaceful. It could be a church. It could also be an unsuspecting shed, even, where you lost your piece of jewelry or trinket. You might be able to find it again if no one else found it before you. I don't see anything about that in these cards, but I do see that it happened at a busy fair or party or celebration, like in a celebration of an entire town, with bands coming and food stalls and all kinds of attractions there that you can participate in, and activities that you can do, and trading. So this quiet area, you probably remember that you've been in a quiet area. Maybe you just wanted to escape the busyness for a moment. That is most likely the place where this piece of jewelry, the ring or trinket, got lost. The third story is about being a bit careless. You left it in your bedroom or the bedroom of your lover, and it is in a dark place, so it could be in a kind of storage box or jewelry box that you didn't remember putting it there. It could have fallen under a cupboard, under your bed, or underneath the bed of your lover. It may even be underneath the covers of the bed. So I would suggest take a look around your own bed or the bed of your lover, because it's most likely there. It is in a dark place, so it won't be visible at first sight. You need to look underneath things to find it again. And the third story is it can go a couple of ways. It can signify that it was stolen by someone who is either jealous or has a kind of a twisted mind. Someone that you did trust, but he or she only gained your trust in order to get close enough to get what they wanted, and then they moved away. It can also mean that it was like a necklace or something like that, or a bracelet, and it snapped and it fell somewhere near a tree. It could have happened when you were with a lover, and in that case I would be looking for the tree where you were with your lover, because that is where you probably will be able to find it again. So I really hope this helps you find your lost ring or piece of jewelry. It can be anything, by the way, so whatever piece of jewelry that you lost, or shiny trinket even. I hope this helped you find that trinket or piece of jewelry, and all I can say now is I wish you an amazing day. Be blessed. Bye. So for those of you who are looking for misplaced documents, letters, or anything paper, doesn't have to be anything official, could even be photographs, anything that is printed on paper. Let's see if we can find out where you left it. Okay, I've already separated the cards out into 5 groups, because I see 5 stories here regarding the important documents or letters or photographs, or this could be also official documents like deeds or passports or things like that. The first story is where you had to bring a lot of papers, you had a lot on your mind, you were dealing with official agencies or government agencies or governmental institutions. Maybe it was about a court case, it doesn't have to be specifically though, and you were dealing with a lot of officials and people, and somehow because of the stack of papers you were carrying, it got messed up, it got lost maybe, and I suspect it is still at the location. It could be a municipality or a court building or any official state-owned building where you have to go for official state related matters. That is most likely where you left the document. It may be retrievable depending on how these institutions deal with that sort of thing. But it seems in the hectic of the situation, and since you were carrying a lot of documents, it somehow got messed up, it got lost. It looks like a situation where you had to bring a lot of your documents to prove something to the government, and they wanted copies of it, and maybe they left it under the in the Xerox machine. But I feel it's somewhere in this governmental institution where you recently had to bring a lot of papers, where you had to deal with a lot of people. It got lost there. It is somewhere in that building. The other story that I find is that the document you are looking for is hidden in a dark place, possibly around or under a bed or a nightstand, and it's bundled up, it's tied up, it's sealed possibly. It's maybe a very old document that's been stored for a long time, and it is in a dark place underneath the bed, locked up, wrapped up with wire or thread or ribbons or something like that, and locked up in a box, possibly under the bed or in a cupboard or somewhere in the bedroom, in a private area. So that is where I would go to look for the document you are looking for. The next story is the story of, I think it has to do with a burial site of someone. This may be a church or a mausoleum, or possibly even a museum of some sort. It's located in a flat area with a river and surrounded by mountain or mountainous areas. There is this quiet building. I would think it could be a church or a mausoleum, or it could have been at a recent burial of someone that you knew, someone that you were familiar with, a male figure who was sensitive, who was kind-hearted. It may be buried with this man. So there may be someone who slipped it in the coffin, or it has been left in the area where this person has been buried. The next story I see is quite simple but nasty. Someone snatched it and keeps it for themselves. I'm not quite sure what the document is, but in Dutch we have this saying, we call it verdonkere manen, and it literally means to darken it away from the moon or something like that. It has the word dark in it and moon, and this is definitely visible in this card. And the word verdonkere manen means being fraudulent or sneaky. It could refer to theft or fraud or that sort of thing. And this is about someone, the person who did this is greedy. The person who did this is very materialistic, very focused on what they could do with these papers, either use them for blackmailing or use them for their own gain. But what I strongly see is this person has an air of, look at the face of this guy. He is smiling and he's like, I got it. And that's exactly the energy that I'm feeling in these two cards. So someone has pulled one on you and pretty much stole your document and is not really willing to go back to give it back. They will deny they have it. It's about fraud or defrauding someone. Nasty business going on there. The last story I see I see a happy family, a homely life, but I see the emphasis on the child. The child is in the middle, so the document may have been taken by the child. Maybe the child wanted to play travel agent and took your passport or something like that to play with. It could have been ended up at the toys, or where the child keeps their toys, or in the child's bedroom, somewhere around or near the child. These documents may be, depending on the age of the child. You might find the documents intact, or you may find them torn up or drawn on, or you know what kids do. So I would go look around anything that has to do with this child in a homely life. It could be your own family, it could also be a family that you recently visited, where the child somehow got a hold on these papers and used them to draw on or play with, or so it got into the hands of a child in a peaceful family home. So I hope this helps you find the papers and documents that you were looking for, and I wish you an amazing day. Be blessed. Bye. Those of you who are looking for a lost pet, it doesn't have to be a dog. It can be anything from a dog, a horse, to a rabbit or a mouse or a hamster, and anything in between. Any pet that you're looking for that has possibly run away, or you don't know where it is right now, let me help to find where your pet is. So for those of you who are looking for a pet, we see several pets coming up here. I see a horse, I see a fox, which could mean a dog with this kind of colors, or a cat. And I see birds, which could be pigeons, sports pigeons or something like that. And here it's not really specified, although this could be about this dog as well, and this could be about a cat. So this kind of belongs to several stories. I found it rather difficult to figure those out, but I believe that this is what they are telling me. The white horse, or the horse, the horse has passed on. I believe that somehow the horse had passed on and is either rescued somewhere or it has died. It's very difficult to pinpoint that. It may be for some of you that the horse died, and for some of you the horse went to a place where it can have its pension. There are horse sanctuaries where old horses can live until they die of old age. But I do see a horse lost. It can also mean entirely different. This horse went to a new owner and is now ridden by a child. But this horse definitely moved away, and it could have been different circumstances. This temperance card, this angel card, can mean that it literally died, but it can also mean that it has been preserved and has a new home where either children are a part of its life or it's having a pension. The next story is a sad one. I am not sure what kind of pet it is about. It could be a lizard-like pet, but that doesn't necessarily have to be that way. I feel someone has poisoned your pet and it died. I'm very sorry to have to bring these bad stories, these negative stories, but I believe if you have been looking for your pet for a while, you may have already considered the possibility that it is no longer alive. Not everything will resonate with you. You will have to figure out which story does resonate with you and which doesn't. It doesn't specify specifically what pet it is, so this can go multiple ways. This one is about a pet collector or a cat collector or a dog collector. I suppose your cat or dog just kind of ran away and ended up in a shelter or a collector of pets, someone who does it for charity or just loves animals and takes all the stray animals in. So it does have a new home. We also find another story of a pet that is replaced. It went to a shelter as well. It got really homesick, but it got a new start in a new family. It may even be a kind of a wealthy family where people were very well off, and the dog or cat or pet in general found a new home, but it had difficulty transitioning to this new phase in its life, because we can see here the refusal of a cup of water, which means that the animal didn't want to eat or drink. This tells me that there is a new story beginning, a new part beginning in his life, and these two cards tell me that there is a very happy family, mostly influential or well off, that has taken your pet in. That pet can be a dog in these colors or a cat, or even multiple pets, or a pet with babies. So it can also mean that the babies went out to families as well. The next story is another sad story. These are birds that have flown away, that are lost somehow. Sometimes in pigeon sports, the world is cruel. If a pigeon is not fast enough, the owner will kill it because it will negatively influence his the results on the competitions that he enters. This looks very much to me like this pigeon tower. I don't know how you call this in English, but where these pigeons, or the pigeon roost or something like that, where they go for the night and sleep, but they didn't make it home. So they were sent out. They were either killed on purposely, or they were just exhausted because the travel was too long, and they died along the way and didn't make it home. So that's also a very sad story. Again, it's always difficult to be the bringer of bad news. On the other hand, some stories are positive. This can be a very positive story. I believe this is more the positive story than the negative story. I feel this horse is now in a place where a lot of children are interacting with it, and it has a new life. It has been preserved. It has a new life. This is about someone mixing up a potion to kill a pet. Someone maybe in your neighborhood or somewhere else hates cats or dogs or whatever, and just leaves poisoned food everywhere. So that is a sad story. This is a story of a stray animal that walked into a house or a shelter where it found multiple other animals. So this person is a collector, they have more than one animal. They may have 20 cats or 20 dogs or something along those lines. Here we find the adoption story of a dog or cat or other animal into a well-off, happy family with children. And we find the sad story of the pigeons that didn't make it home. So I'm sorry to be the bringer of bad news, but I think it's better to know than not to know. So even if I did have bad news for you, I hope you find peace of mind and you can close the situation off and move on with your life. And I wish you an amazing day. Be blessed. Bye.